and welcome to Core Values. I'm Brennen Smith. Today, I'm going to be walking you through one of the Air Force's best-kept secrets, the Civil Air Patrol. I'm here right now at the Essex County Composite Squadron building in Andover, Massachusetts, and I'm here today to find out who Civil Air Patrol are, what they do, and what their missions are, and I am going to take you along with me. So let's go find out what Civil Air Patrol is all about. To begin my journey learning about Civil Air Patrol, I decided to start by speaking directly with the squadron commander. I was interested to hear what she had to say and what her views were on the program. So I'm here right now with the squadron commander of Essex County Composite Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Antoinette Fisher. Thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure to be here.
So tell me a little about CAP.
Civil Air Patrol is an auxiliary of the United States Air Force. It has a charter from the Congress making it an official Air Force, part of the Air Force. It was founded back toward the end of World War II when there were a number of older gentlemen who were pilots, not fit to be able to go into the service but wanted to do something for the war effort. After petitioning Congress any number of times, they finally got permission to do some small missions, flying over the reservoirs and lakes and bridges and making sure that there was no enemy activity around. After petitioning Congress even further, they got permission to strap small bombs on the wings of the Civil Air Patrol aircraft, which are Cessna 172s and 182s. And they actually are credited with sinking 2 submarines off of the coast of New Jersey. It eventually evolved into a program where they decided that they wanted the young people to learn how to fly. So they developed a cadet program as a part of the Air Force, as a part of Civil Air Patrol. Civil Air Patrol has 3 missions. It has a mission of aerospace education, search and rescue, and a part called the Cadet program. Aerospace education is exactly what it is meant to be. We teach the cadets about flying and about the space and the clouds and the atmosphere and why a plane flies and how it flies and how does it stay actually in the air.
That's really cool. Now, you mentioned earlier that you were chartered by the Air Force and originally used to drop bombs. You don't do that anymore, do you?
No, absolutely not. No, that's a thing of the past. That was done when the Air Force was very, very new, and of course with the invention of the huge aircraft that we have now and the faster aircraft, there's really no need for little Cessnas to go around carrying bombs on their wings.
As a member of Civil Air Patrol, are you required to join the Air Force at all, or are you enlisted when you join Civil Air Patrol?
No, this is an auxiliary of the Air Force. I am a civilian, even though I wear a uniform of the Air Force, and I have to follow the Air Force regulations. I am not in the Air Force at all, and nor are any of the members that belong to our squadron or the cadets that join our squadron.
Okay, now, you've mentioned cadets a few times. What kind of age demographic are the cadets?
The cadets can come into the program from age 12, and they can stay into the program until they're 21. Normally, by the time they're 18, they go off to college, and their commitment to the squadron and Civil Air Patrol is very limited because of their college commitments, and that's very understandable. But in the time that they're in, the leadership qualities that they learn about and are able to demonstrate, and the aerospace education that they get, and the training in search and rescue is far beyond any other program of any youth group in the United States at all. It's a very unique program in that the discipline and leadership that the young cadets learn, and they learn it at a very early age, so it is something that they carry through for the rest of their lives. Just because they stop the program at 18, those leadership qualities don't disappear. It's something that becomes ingrained in them, and just the fact that when they talk to an individual and the way they can talk to grown-ups, and the fact that 90% of the time you'll hear yes ma'am and no ma'am and yes sir and no sir coming from a teenager is an eye-opener to adults.
So, will Civil Air Patrol help anyone who wants to join the military? Does the military look favorably upon Civil Air Patrol or no?
The military does look very favorably on Civil Air Patrol. If a cadet achieves their first officer grade, which is a first lieutenant, and they go into any of the military services, they go in as an E3, which is, they don't go in as a basic, but they go in with a little bit more rank and a few more dollars in their pocket as the result of their training in Civil Air Patrol. Because if they go to a point where they become an officer, then they're fully vested in the program, and they really know how to handle themselves, not only as a cadet, but as they move on in life.
So do you feel that Civil Air Patrol has helped you to become a better person and a better leader outside of Civil Air Patrol?
I had no military experience at all when I first joined Civil Air Patrol. I joined as a result of my son belonging to the program and a need to help with their drill team. And I found out that in order to be with the cadets and help with the drill team, I had to become a member. At that point, I couldn't tell a sergeant from a lieutenant or a lieutenant from a general. But I learned quickly, and as a result, it's made me a better person. I'm able to handle situations a lot differently than I would have handled them if I were not here. The leadership training that I got from the squadron commander, who is the squadron commander when I first joined, Colonel Watterson, he was my mentor, and a better mentor an individual could have not asked for. He made sure that I knew everything, that I handled situations, and he allowed me to grow without stepping in whenever he felt that things weren't going the way they should. He allowed me to work the problems out, and when I was finished, I was able to sit down and talk with him, and I learned how to handle things as time went on better than I could have ever.
And that's true for the cadets as well?
Oh, absolutely. They're given situations, we let them stumble and fall, and then we pick them up and sit them down and explain to them, or let them explain to us how they felt about the situation and what they could do to make it better, and then we offer them suggestions on how to make things better as well.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like Civil Air Patrol is really a great organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, Civil Air Patrol definitely looks pretty interesting, but I want to hear more about it from the cadets themselves. So let's go ask a few. Why did you join CAP?
I joined CAP because I had an interest in aviation when I was about 2 years ago, and I also had a love for the military and becoming an officer.
I joined CAP because I wanted to gain leadership and cooperation skills, and I like to do drill, and it's just fun for me.
I joined CAP mainly because I really wanted to be in the Air Force as a pilot.
I joined CAP because I want to serve in the Army as an officer, and CAP will give me the skills and character in order to do so.
I joined CAP because I'm interested in aeronautics, and I thought that would further my knowledge of aeronautics.
I joined CAP to better myself as a human being and increase my leadership skills.
Originally, I joined because I wanted to fly airplanes, and it seemed like a good way to do that. I was a bit of a nerd at the time, so it seemed like a good idea, but more and more it became about the military, and that's where.
What do you like about CAP?
I love the opportunities that it gives you, such as leadership opportunities, preparatory for a life in the military. It's regimented.
I like that we're not stern, but we have to wear our uniforms properly, and it teaches you how to be organized. And
The thing I like most about CAP is how much training for leadership and how much confidence is given me in school and outside of school activities.
My favorite thing about CAP is drill. It feels really good when you do all the motions correctly, and you get to learn all these prim and proper movements. It really feels like good when the flight is coordinated, and yeah, so drill is my favorite part of CAP.
I like just working as a team on projects and learning the drill.
I like its focus on aviation, but also its focus on STEM subjects and the leadership training that it gave me, and that I can apply it in a real world sense rather than just learning in a classroom, and the discipline that it has given me over the years.
I like a lot of things about CAP, including a lot of activities we do and the drill.
What special things have you done in CAP?
I'll be going to my second encampment this year, my first staff position this year. I've gone to 2 conferences so far, and I'm applying for an NCSA this year.
Well, we've worked on the conference project, and I've gone to the conference, and that was very fun.
So far, I've attended 2 conferences and presented science projects to the judges, and I attended 2015 Massachusetts Swing Summer Encampment.
I've gone to the 2015 Massachusetts Swing Encampment. There I learned about the history of CAP. I learned how the Air Force does its basic training, how the Air Force coordinates with other branches in order to protect our country. And I've gone to the Massachusetts Wing Conference and played a part in building the conference project, the presentation.
I have gone to 5 encampments, or I will be going to my 5th, which will also be my 5th staff position. I have gone on a bunch of O flights, done a lot with this squadron. I was Cadet commander for a year and a couple months. What else have I done? I have my private pilot's license, not through CAP, but related to it. And yeah, that's about it.
I've done many special things in CAP. I have gone to a conference. I went to attend a fly day, which is flying a plane.
Do you feel CAP has helped you be a better person and a better leader?
I do believe that it has. I was very quiet becoming a member of CAP, but I've generally progressed. I'm still quiet, just as Captain Romano said. I'm working at it, but CAP's made it a lot better and easier for me to converse and work on my leadership abilities.
I do feel that CAP has helped me to be a better person and leader.
Yes, Civil Air Patrol has definitely helped me become a better person and a leader.
Yes, definitely. For example, I now exhibit more discipline at home. I also am improving when it comes to PT. For example, 2 weeks ago I improved by a minute in my mile run. So yes, CAP improves me as a person, and I really feel as if I am a better person.
I feel that CAP has made me a better person and a better leader through the programs offered during meetings and just in general.
I do. When I first joined, I was very quiet. I still am, but I was very quiet. I couldn't really speak in front of a group, couldn't really do any of that sort of thing. So this program has helped me be able to get over those fears, but also to take the initiative in a sense, and taught me how to lead a group effectively.
CAP has helped me become a better person and a better leader. It has helped me create more discipline within myself.
What interests you in CAP?
Aviation, and still the military lifestyle that it gives you, the way that the squadrons are set up, things like that.
I really liked all the aerospace training and aerospace education, really, because that's kind of my favorite thing outside of CAP too. I like the O flights and all the really military things about it.
I am mainly interested in the military aspects of it, the way that the traditions of CAP as the Air Force Auxiliary, and the way CAP functions as the auxiliary of the Air Force.
Learning more about how the squadron functions, as I have not been in CAP for very long.
The most interesting for me in CAP is the aerospace, because I learn a lot of things about cool airplanes and a lot of science.
Still love airplanes, those things are freaking awesome. But also the military aspect, because I will be going to the military, and the experience that it gives you as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, or 18-year-old for that matter, in leading a group.
Hearing about Civil Air Patrol from the cadets here definitely was interesting. However, I want to learn more about it from someone who's actually been in the cadet program a lot longer. So I'm here right now with the cadet commander of Essex County Composite Squadron, Captain DeGan. Captain DeGan, welcome to Core Values.
Thank you.
So I have a few questions for you. Why did you join Civil Air Patrol?
So it was 8th grade, and I was interested in both flying. At the time, I wanted to earn my pilot's license and joining the military. And I just found this program online, and it seemed to combine both perfectly.
So what do you like about Civil Air Patrol?
I like coming here every Monday for 4 years, seeing the same people, seeing everyone develop. You know, I've been here, all those cadets, I've been here since they first joined, and now they're all doing awesome things. It's really cool to help them achieve their full potential, and yeah.
So do you feel Civil Air Patrol has helped you to be a better person, a better leader, maybe even outside of Civil Air Patrol?
Yes, I definitely think so. It's taught me so many just life lessons like integrity and discipline and hard work. I've learned how to deal with cadets and senior members alike and get things done. It's been a real test of my leadership, and I've liked it a lot.
So is there anything specific in Civil Air Patrol you've really enjoyed? Maybe something not in the squadron, something outside the squadron? What do you like doing right now?
So my favorite parts of Civil Air Patrol, although I love the squadron, are definitely outside the squadron. Encampment and PJOC, Pararescue and Survival Orientation Course, are probably the two best things for me that have happened outside the squadron. They've both taught me so much in just everything. Both of them were just awesome experiences, and I'd love to do them again. And I learned so much from both experiences.
So when you join as a cadet in the Civil Air Patrol, you're obviously expected to promote. I mean, you've obviously got quite a few folks on your shoulder. Can you tell us a little bit about the promotion process? How would someone get to where you are now or even farther?
Sure, it's relatively simple. For every promotion, you have to do a leadership test, an aerospace test, participate in a moral leadership discussion, and pass a physical fitness exam, and take a promotions board. That may sound like a lot, but it's, especially early on in the program, it's pretty simple. And then for milestone awards, which are Wright Brothers, Billy Mitchell, Earhart, and Spots, and Acre as well. You have to do a little bit more. You have to do additional requirements. But it's really not that difficult, and if you put in the time and effort, you can get to where I am and to Cadet Colonel.
So, again, what can you do as a cadet in the Civil Air Patrol?
The opportunities are unlimited, honestly. You can just come here and fill a seat and learn every Monday, and that's great, and you can do programs with the squadron and learn. You can go to things like Encampment and Conference, where you interact with cadets from around the wing in various activities. You can apply for NCSAs, which take place across the country and across the world in a host of different activities. You can apply for scholarships for college. You can apply for flight scholarships. You can go on orientation flights for free with CAP pilots. So the opportunities are really extraordinary.
So what does a typical night here at Essex County look like?
So tonight's a pretty typical night. The first Monday of every month, we're in blues. The second two, we're in BDUs. And the fourth week is PT. If there is a fifth Monday, we usually do fun games and activities or do a fun activity outside the squadron. But we often do, today we had a moral leadership class where cadets learn how to deal with moral dilemmas, basically. We had uniform inspection to make sure all the cadets' uniforms were up to par. We wanted to do some drill, but the weather was not favorable, so we did not do drill, despite our best efforts. And we're doing some fun games with the cadets now, competitive games. We gave one cadet a board, and we're about to promote him. So that's some of the stuff that goes on a typical night here.
So DeGan, what is that little badge you're keeping hiding under your lapel?
Oh, this one. Okay. This is a ground team badge. I earned this at Hawk Mountain Ranger School in Pennsylvania, but you can earn it at the Squadron too, and just here in Massachusetts. It's basically I'm certified to be on a ground team that is called in response to a missing aircraft, or what's called an ELT beacon. When that goes off, it signals that an aircraft is in possible distress, and so basically we learned how to find an ELT, and that's why we got a ground team badge.
The search and rescue part of the program is taught over the years. We were allowed to take younger cadets out on missions that we would get called out on. 90% of the time there would be false alarms. The ELTs from a small aircraft would go off and we would be tasked to go and turn them off. We never allowed cadets to go out on actual missions where there has been any kind of major disaster, but they still train to do that. They get all the education needed to go out and take care of something like that. Heaven forbid we should have a natural disaster where we all have to get involved. And the third part, called the cadet programs, it encompasses a 9-day summer encampment, much like a mini boot camp, but with not as strict as a regular boot camp would be. They learn how to drill, and they learn how to make their beds, and they have to do KP, and they are tasked with different things to do throughout the week, and there's a nice graduation for the cadets themselves and the parents. And then the next year they can apply to be on staff, so it helps them to progress in the program.
So Encampment is basically a Civil Air Patrol's version of basic training. It's a week long where we go and we train the cadets basically everything they need to know to be a good cadet. They get leadership experiences, they get a lot of activities, and we do this thing called a leadership reaction course where they go through different scenarios and they have to go and work as a team in their flight and complete them. And they come together as a team. They learn the value of teamwork, and especially the lesson of it's true that you are only as strong as your weakest link. So they get some really important training out of this week of encampment. Basically, the first day that the Corps gets there, they go through in process, go to their bunks, get in their flight and meet their teammates, and then they basically it's a lot of studying, but that's when it's the most intense, and the cadets start getting their training right then and there. And then the next few days, it's all drill practice, team sports, classes, a lot of leadership classes, a lot of aerospace classes we have, and we just basically a lot of classes, but it's a lot of valuable training that you can get. And we have a lot of guest speakers, like we had the former chief of staff of the Army come in, and he was really good speaker. He taught us a lot of valuable lessons. And we have a lieutenant in the Marine Corps come in, and he's really cool. He's a former CAP cadet, so he knows where they are, where it takes and what it takes to get through the week. A lot of valuable lessons. We get to go fly in some Blackhawks. Usually we have that every year, and we get to do a lot of cool stuff. If you decide to go to this week of encampment, if you join Civil Air Patrol, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a great learning experience, and you're going to have a lot of fun.
Say someone here watching is interested in joining Civil Air Patrol, either as a cadet or maybe even as an adult. What positions are there? What can they expect when they join Civil Air Patrol?
Well, if it's a cadet, we ask them, both cadets and senior members, even an adult who's interested in joining the program, we ask them to come and stay for 3 meetings. In those 3 meetings, the cadet themselves can see how the program is run and to see if they're willing to put the time and effort into becoming a cadet and doing well in the program. The senior member will see what the other senior members do and take a look at what programs are open for them to take part in. And then after those 3 meetings, we give the cadet, if he wishes, the membership papers.
Anything else about Civil Air Patrol you'd like to tell everyone?
Well, it's done wonders for me, and I think I've improved as a person because of it. And I would really recommend that you come and give it a shot. You won't regret it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Captain Cadet.
All right, awesome.
Well, that's it for our show. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about Civil Air Patrol, or maybe even find a squadron near you, go to www.gocivilairpatrol.com, and I hope to see you here soon. Take care. Wow, you actually stayed through the credits? I'm amazed. As a reward, here's a blooper reel for you of all the mistakes and all the funny moments here at the Squadron. All right. I'm sorry.
All right, take 2.
So I thought something was right. Welcome.
Hi.
All right, that was kind of
All right. Thank you.
Do you feel necessary in Civil Air Patrol? And if so, why?
I do believe that in PT, Civil Air Patrol is very useful because even...
Wow, the wind really is gusty today. Holy cow. Oh, I gotta do that all over again now?